Do you feel the vibes?
What's up, YouTube? It's Carolina Calvin coming back to you with another video. And it's actually been a while since I've done an NFL topic, in at least a few weeks that I even mentioned anything about the NFL. But since, of course, the regular season starts in 3 days with the Carolina Panthers head to Denver on a Thursday night game, I wanted to talk about the Panthers heading into this 2016 season. Guys, big names that were lost. And of course, they really didn't add much. We'll talk about the rookies because there are a lot of rookies, especially in that secondary, that I really wanted to talk about. Of course, the depth chart, and I get the schedule and how I think they're gonna do throughout the regular season. Of course, record. This is all predictions, of course. Let's start with depth chart. I want to start with the offense because I feel as though as you look at the names, it's relatively the same guys offensively. Defense is where you got some of the bigger changes, especially in the secondary. Kelvin Benjamin, who's a guy coming back off the ACL injury, he's definitely gonna be a big help. He's 6'5", he has really good hands, so he's gonna be a guy, especially in the red zone. Same with him and Devin Funchess. These are two guys you can literally just throw the ball up to, and they can go make a play on it. So you can definitely see him having high touchdown numbers. He's going to be targeted a lot, especially in the red zone. Offensive line headed by Ryan Khalil is essentially the same from last year. Michael Orr, Andrew Norwell, Trey Turner. Essentially some of the same guys on that offensive line. Of course, you bringing in Greg Olsen is your star tight end. He's going to get a lot of targets from Cam. Maybe we want to see one of these other tight ends, maybe Ed Dixon, who years ago had some solid years in Baltimore. Of course, he had to deal with injuries, and that really slowed his career down. A receiver, of course, receiver opposite side, Ted Ginn, who's had his best years in Carolina. The guy is still really fast. I believe his 9th or 10th season. And he's a guy that Cam is going to be looking for a lot of those deep throws. But he's had a lot of drop issues. Maybe that's because he doesn't get throughout his career outside of being in Carolina. He hasn't really been played much receiver, but in Carolina he's been doing a lot of that. Philly Browns, another guy like, and the rookie Demir Bird, who I looked up some game tape. He has a lot of speed. Kind of reminds me of Ted Ginn. Obviously not as fast. But maybe he can make some contributions because that Panthers receiving core needs the speed. Kelvin Benjamin, Devin Funchess, not really fast guys. Ted Ginn, fastest guy on the team. He's the fastest guy out of the receivers. Philly Brown, he's relatively fast, but Demir Bird, from what I've seen, is probably second fastest out of the receivers. But we don't know. We'll of course have to see if he actually gets some playing time. Of course, Cam's going to be starting. At fullback, of course, you got Mike Tolbert, who always seems to have these blunders where it's a sure catch, and he's been known to be a good receiver coming out of the backfield, and he's dropped them. He's had some fumbling. Of course, the well-known one is in the Super Bowl. So we'll have to see, man, because I like his blocking. Like I said, I like his receiving. Despite as big as he is, he hasn't been that great in short yardage, but I'm hoping that can improve overall with the running game improving, mainly from these running backs. Jonathan Stewart has been a beast when he's in there and healthy, but really outside of that, nobody's really been able to step up, especially when he was out. Cam Newton had to take more load as a runner as well. That's a big reason why he won the MVP. People don't know how much he contribute to the running game as well as sitting in the pocket and throwing the ball. Jonathan Stewart, of course, they got to keep him healthy, so they got to use these other guys. Fozzie Whitaker, Cameron Artis-Payne. These guys are gonna have to step up and really take some, including with Mike Tolbert. Gonna have to step up and take some pressure off of Jonathan Stewart, so he doesn't have to take a beating at the running back position. Not getting any younger. So, like I said, offense relatively the same. Obviously, there's some guys I said that I think need to step up. Devin Funches is one. Philly Brown, another guy who needs to step up. And probably Ed Dixon. Like I said, he may not be in the game very much, but I think he can definitely contribute if healthy. We're going to go on defense. Front seven is relatively the same. Charles Johnson starting at your defensive end. Starlos Laley and K'Wan Short, your tackles. Of course, Connor Ely is your other defensive end. And he had an amazing Super Bowl. Kind of showed that, the guy really has a lot of talent. You know, he had a really down year. It wasn't really a great year, but he's still a young player. I believe it's his third season. So you saw his potential in that Super Bowl and the plays he was making. He had an interception. He had about 3 sacks. He had one that was a forced fumble. So he was a beast in the Super Bowl. I'm hoping that's something he can transition over into the regular, of course, this regular season. Mario Addison's another guy I like. He gets pressure on the quarterback. That's all you really want. Still have DeJuan Edwards on the team. There's another guy who you bring in the middle of that defensive line. Another guy who can get after the quarterback. At linebacker, Shaq Thompson, second year, like his speed, like his coverage ability. In college, he was the safety, so he has the coverage skills. And he adds to pretty fast linebacking core, guys that can run sideline to sideline and run those running backs down. Luke Kuechly starts defense. The guy's a beast. Thomas Davis at the other outside linebacker position. 12 seasons. The guy's been through multiple injuries, and you see him out in the field, you can tell if he had an injury. As fast as he's out there running. Here's where we get to the issues. James Bradbury, rookie. Darryl Worley, rookie. You do get Bené Benwikere back, but you can see they mostly in that secondary. Roman Harper's gone, he's had more bad years than good years, so whatever. Josh Norman, huge loss. They completely botched the whole contract thing. He should have been in the Carolina Panthers uniform. Charles Tillman, who of course was getting older, so you kind of see, he didn't have much time left as being a player. And that really left. They really didn't bring any veterans in to kind of fill those roles, and they mostly pretty much been trying to go young. And that can work in some cases, but when you got a team that's been to the Super Bowl and you're trying to get back, I don't know. You don't want to go completely young. You want to get some young guys in there, build them up, but you want to get some veterans in there at cornerback. That's what kind of annoyed me, because there were some guys out there. Antonio Cromartie was out there. Can't remember every single name, but there were some guys out there they could have got. At least these rookies won't be thrown at the wolves pretty much. Kurt Coleman's at strong safety. Trey Boston's at free safety. So these are the guys who Kurt Coleman, Trey Boston have had. They were on the Super Bowl team. They were in the game during, of course, when the Super Bowl was played. Bené Benwikere, who was dealing with injuries at the end of the year. I think he's definitely gonna be one of the starting cornerbacks. I don't see them exactly starting 2 or 3 rookies. So I see Bené Benwikere being that. Fortunately, he's probably gonna be that number 1 corner, unless we see something different out of one of these rookies. But it's still a growing thing, and it's gonna be an issue. It's gonna be an issue with the secondary. I feel as though the front seven looks good. They got depth. Both at both levels. Defensive line, linebackers. I think they're really good. But they're gonna have to cover. You got to get more pressure, and they had issues when they had of getting pressure. They're gonna have to get pressure on these quarterbacks, and they've done a really good job against the run. They had their bad games, but pressure I think is the most important thing. They gotta dial up some more blitzes, and really get the quarterbacks out of rhythm to kind of hide these cornerbacks, at least early on in the season. I'm thinking they can get better as the season progresses. Next we got the schedule. Of course, Thursday, September 8th, they're heading to Denver to play the Broncos. Definitely going to be an interesting game. Week 2, you have the 49ers are heading to Carolina. Week 3, Vikings are heading to Carolina. Week 4, Carolina Panthers are heading to to Atlanta. Week 5, Buccaneers are heading to Carolina. Week 6, the Panthers are heading to New Orleans. Week 7 is a bye. Week 8, the Cardinals are heading to Carolina. Week 9, the Panthers are heading to the Rams' new stadium, which definitely going to be interesting. I know a lot of people from St. Louis, a lot of St. Louis Rams fans are pretty pissed, especially ones that stayed in the area. But I'm pretty sure they're going to stay fans of the team. And the team got a new location. Maybe maybe we'll see a turnaround for the Rams. But they don't have a bunch of talent, especially offensively. But they've been able to sneak up on really good teams. Week 10, the Chiefs head to Carolina. Week 11, the Saints head to Carolina. Week 12, the Panthers head to. Well, the Panthers played the Raiders in their home stadium. Week 13, now they seem to always play the Seahawks. I know they're playing the NFC West, but even when they were, the last 3-4 years when they didn't, when of course they didn't play the NFC West, they still played the Seahawks. Week 13, they head to Seattle to play Seahawks. Week 14, the Chargers head to Carolina. Week 15, Carolina Panthers head to Washington, which is going to be an interesting game, especially if you want to see at that point, because of course that's where Josh Norman went. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be interesting. Week 16, the Falcons head to Carolina. Week 17, to end the season, the Panthers head to Tampa Bay. Okay, as I guess I can guess the record. I'm gonna guess 12-4. I was thinking 11-5, but I'm gonna guess 12-4 because they got some tough teams up here. The Broncos, Vikings, of course the division games. You can never count those teams out, no matter how bad they're playing at that point. Cardinals, Rams, like I said, sneak up on teams. Chiefs, Seahawks are up here, and the Raiders are an improved team with they got a lot of veteran guys, especially on defense. And the Redskins, of course, were. Of course, they brought in Josh Norman, which is going to be a huge help for them. And they were a playoff team. But that pretty much does it. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. All you Panthers fans, what do you think is the, give me a positive and negative about the roster. What do you think is the biggest issue? Like I said, secondary is my biggest issue, and you're going to see it early on in the season. You got young guys. It's just something that's going to happen. Most of the teams I've seen play young guys in the secondary. They got burned for it. But it kind of, for some teams, it kind of turned around for them in the future. But let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. Thanks for watching.